Hello, everybody. Today we are having our trial pitch competition before you get selected to pitch in front of VC funds. My name is Danila. I am today host of the event. So everybody has 5 minutes to make a trial pitch, after which Jory Cloya, representative of investment committee of LATOKEN, will provide you with the practical feedback on your presentation to make sure that you will be ready 100% to pitch in front of VC funds. So who would like to be the first? Soban, can you move ahead with your pitch deck, please?
Yes, sir. Do I just start whenever? Oh, hello?
Hello?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me? Mic check, everything good?
Yeah, all good.
Okay,
We hear you very
perfect.
well.
All right, perfect. I'll go ahead and start then. Hello, everyone. My name is Soban. I'm from Vector Space AI. We're an up and coming, exciting company in the blockchain space, although we are mostly focused on natural language processing, natural language understanding, and we create on demand correlation matrix data sets for hidden relationships. I know that's a lot of buzzwords. I'm going to explain to you exactly what that means and what we do. So we create data sets, correlation data sets that allow you to find hidden relationships based on real life context control. Natural language processing is the act of actually having like an algorithm understand what words mean. For instance, normally people use sentiment analysis for stock tickers, right? People are tweeting about uh, Bitcoin, people are tweeting about Tesla, but what are these tweets actually saying? What is the context of those tweets? That is the power of natural language processing. And we have a utility token that is wonderfully designed that I'm going to expand on. But here, this is the basic concept of what we do. We have data sets that people subscribe to. You pay for the data set with BTC, ETH, or USD that's automatically exchanged to VXV. That VXV is
Yes,
held
now it works.
in a wallet enabled API key. From a software engineering standpoint, a private and public key for a blockchain wallet, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with, is exactly the same as an API key and a secret API key. So there's no friction there. And then we use these wallet API keys to distribute our data sets. And since everything is natively hashed on a blockchain, we are able to see exactly what calculations were happened to the data set, where the data came from, et cetera, et cetera. Our customers love what we're doing, but I think what's even more exciting than this huge paid text of testimonial are the people that we're working with. Some of these are really big companies. We recently started working with Amazon and Microsoft to tackle COVID-19. I'm sure you might have seen in the news. We are one of the companies that is powering Microsoft's battle against this, and we are leveraging machine learning and artificial intelligence to do this. Um, there's a huge opportunity in general for artificial intelligence and machine learning. It can be applied in various different areas, whether that comes to marketing all the way down to financial investment firms and seeking or looking for alpha. Excuse me. Our team itself is extremely qualified. I think that's a big issue normally when it comes to things of this nature. We actually created Word to Vec, which is a huge function used for vector processing of languages. Most software engineers would be familiar with it. We've won R&D awards from the Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory, and our CEO holds several patents that are still used today. This is the overall business flow, if you will, of our company. Um, if you see that we actually emphasize revenue, we think we are very well designed to reach revenue, which is a thing that most crypto companies do not focus on, or rather, they may not ever even achieve. So we provide smart baskets. That's normally for like financial services, investment firms, but currently we're also working with Amazon, Microsoft, and the White House to repurpose pharmaceutical drugs. It's much easier to repurpose a recipe than come up with one. And we're using natural language processing to really process 19,000 articles and then go through and see if there's any drug combinations that we can culture in there. This is an overview of the actual network infrastructure, and it shows you the reason why we implicate or implement a blockchain. It provides the highest level of security and data integrity for our users. But the interesting aspect of this, which is a different than most businesses, is the fact that uh, you could actually pay for our services without ever li- needing to hold the token. The token actually does not add any added friction. I could pay for my subscription to vector space datasets with BTC, ETH, USD, or VXV, depending on my payment method. If it's non crypto or non VXV, that's automatically exchanged, bought, used, and bought for VXV on an open exchange, and then that VXV is held in a wallet, and the amount of VXV held in a wallet enables certain tiered services. And this could be anywhere from different smart baskets, different context controls. For instance, anything like if you wanted to maybe cross-reference manufacturers with earthquakes in certain areas, lithium batteries and stock prices, something of that nature. Anything is really possible with our tech stack. These are our price tiers. As you can see that we're really aiming for institutional individuals, ideally data scientists, data engineers are our ideal customers, but at the same time, even retail individuals, normal individuals can leverage our technology, whether it's anywhere from being uh, a research scientist at some type of life science company to being a proprietary trader of your own. And as you'll see here, with our different price tiers, you get access to different services and different equity types. But the real quick kicker here in our revenue stream is the fact of the matter is that most of these companies, guys like World Quant, Two Sigma, who we're working with actually, um, they abuse information asymmetries. So what that means is you need to stay atop, head of the game. You need to be ahead of everyone at every moment, and that means that your data sets need to be constantly being updated. And we will charge $1 per update, and that's it's do the math itself. A minute times 60 times 24 in a day, that's daily revenue just from updating. And really, data is the new gold, is the new oil, it's the future. But the unrefined data is similar to crude oil, it's unusable. You can't do anything with it, doesn't provide you any utility. But with our technology, with natural language processing and our tech stack, we can process more data than anyone else and create data sets that provide you with actionable information, whether that's hidden relationships with between equities, or a little bit leaning more towards the scientific approach because we are a science company first. Repurposing drugs for pharmaceutical use cases like we're doing currently to combat COVID-19. The overall the value of our network is going to be worth a lot of money, and that's going to do a couple things here for the way our token model works. We have a token model that's designed to limit sell pressure from institutions and increase demand from institutions or individuals that want to use the platform. But that does not mean that speculators can't profit from it either. You could be an individual that has some VXV somewhere, and two Sigma, World Quant, Jason Howard, whoever it is, they want to access VXV data sets. They could purchase VXV from you to access our data sets. We truly believe that we're creating a business model here that does not add unnecessary friction like most utility tokens do in the cryptocurrency space, while still providing a value for individuals. The future of money, the future of our society is automated, and our future means we need to have programmable money, and that's what VXV essentially is. That the token itself is programmable money. We can see the data provenance through the hash because hashing is a native feature on a blockchain. All of these are added advantages. These are all reasons to build on a blockchain, not just because it's the latest fad. It actually adds advantages from a software engineering standpoint, from a troubleshooting standpoint, and from a security standpoint. All of these are important features and considerations that most companies do not make, whereas we have a very forward-looking approach to this. We have done this in the past before. We've been approached by Google for our proprietary software stack.
10 minutes, Soban. 10 minutes. Please hurry up a bit.
Oh, sorry. And, we're really looking forward to not only tackling COVID-19 with the people that we're working with, but also revolutionizing the cryptocurrency space. Thank you all for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Soban. Jory, Igor.
Yeah, all right. So I have a few things. Nice to meet you, Soban. Just taking some notes here. When you were saying customers were saying good things about you, maybe bring an example or two and not go by it so quick. I know you were trying to get to the revenue model fast.
Yeah.
That's the main point of everything. But maybe show an example of a customer. And you said we think that we are qualified, and you work with Amazon and other companies. Maybe say that we are qualified because we work with these companies. That might be a little better. I know that you're time based and everything, so you're trying to go quick. Just giving you my advice.
No, this is all good.
Yeah,
feedback.
I like the part pay for services without holding a token. You were explaining it well. The revenue model, you were doing good in the beginning, and I think you were kind of running a little long on it, and then you didn't really explain the team at all because you were running out of time. So maybe we work at that last part a little bit, like go a little shorter on the revenue model. I know that's the main key. That's the data that you have to explain. That's the whole point. Basically of the token and going on, dollar per update, programmable money. That's the whole point of the token. And then maybe explain the team a little bit, but I know you were running out of time, but that's kind of it. You were explaining it pretty well in a sense, just, I guess, focus, give a little more time on the other things and a little less in the revenue model, I guess, or try to make it a little more, not as complex, a little smaller. That's my insight.
Yeah, definitely need to organize it better.
Yeah, but the idea is great, and it makes sense. I was getting you, but at the end it was going a little off track a little bit, I feel like. But that's it.
Thank you, Soban. Who would like to be the next? Jonathan?
Yeah.
Can you please share the screen? Presentation.
Yeah, I'll do so.
Okay.
So nice evening to everybody. Thanks for your time.
Thank you for joining this call. And you have 5 minutes. You ready?
Oh, yeah, I'll try my best.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
whenever you're ready.
Good luck.
So my name is Jonathan Ruiz. I'm representing Metrovacesa. Metrovacesa is one of the biggest companies in Spain for real estate business. Okay. So actually, this company is having over 100 years experience in the real estate sector, and now becomes a big step, especially in the innovative department, going and moving into the blockchain. Okay, so actually we don't have to remember and to highlight why blockchain will bring added value for all the services and everything. So I will go forward to what, especially in our case, the added value for real estate. We try to make a faster link with the investors to the Spanish business, especially the new developments. Okay, currently Metrovacesa has over 100 projects ongoing. Metrovacesa has the largest amount of land available in Spain, so therefore it's quite big in terms of new developments. But now everything is mainly focused in Spain, commercial agents in Spain looking for international approach, but actually there are many filters, many layers that may be removed by using blockchain technology. Okay, so we want to be closer to investors and closer to the guarantees that those investors would need from foreign countries to rely in Spain. Okay, so actually we are looking, especially in this pitch, to two kind of investors. The one that is mainly looking to invest their money in real estate. So actually COVID-19 is not a nice thing, but actually giving an added value to try to think on the traditional investments such as real estate. And we are looking as well for international partners that are kind of multiplicators for those to reach those investors. Investors that are willing to catch great value or smaller values. Actually, we are grateful to Grant Thornton, which is securing the technology in Metro Bacesa. So actually, I'll be back to the beginning. Metro Bacesa is a founded company in 1918, is growing now up to 2020, especially with very big agreements worldwide. And especially 70% approximately of the shares are belonging to Santander and BBVA, okay, one of the biggest banks behind. So actually Grant Thornton is a big company as well, securing all the technology and the pass from the traditional way up to blockchain technology, and especially focused in the investment coming from funds, family offices, and crowdfunding. Okay, so especially we are going to talk about the Ethereum technology, especially this Hyperledger Bisu is one of the newest technology focused in an open source, but as well managing the Ethereum technology. We want to put available some developments for investors. They will be able to catch partially or in a whole project, including everything into the blockchain technology. Everything that is from the setup, especially this ALM KYC, will be the starting authorization for getting this investor on board. But once this investor is recognized as a potential player in this site, everything is going to be shown to the investor. Since the beginning of the development, everything will be appearing in the blockchain. So actually, we are the first company presenting all the development phases from scratch up to the real building constructed in the blockchain. This is an innovative. Okay, this is an innovative way of working that will enable all the information put in the blockchain. So actually, technical components that will guarantee that everything will be shown in the platform, which will be recorded and not removed. And actually, all the different partners, such as Grant Thornton, will guarantee all the data, and Metro Bacesa will be the link to this blockchain. Actually, we have some experiences with crowdfunding. We are now in the way to get international. That's why we are looking for strategic partners, especially for this year, to be bigger. And actually, we kind of put an investment opportunity, which is this development, which is already available to start living there, is with prices that start from 115K, really close to the sea, 100 properties available. And we want to guarantee a really fast access from investors to get in. So actually, exclusive, big interest after achieving 25 properties bought, and especially LATOKEN audience that could be part of this project in terms of blockchain technology, starting for 300 euros participation. So actually, all the details are there. The tokenization are as well part of this spectrum that we want to bring, especially from the architecture point of view, up to a blockchain shared of information for all those investors that are outside the Spain. No? So thanks for your time.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Your feedback, please.
Jory, your mic is turned off.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying here. Sorry. It was good. The explanation of it, I was getting it, and then the pricing of it. You're saying that you were the first company. Are there any other companies? Are there any competitors doing this? Because real estate is a big business, obviously there has to be other companies involved. Anything about the team? What else is it? You were kind of like all over the place with going with the kind of like, you know, the screenshots of everything. I was kind of losing you when you kept going back and forth. So that was really it. You were kind of showing one thing for like a couple seconds and then you went away to another. So I was still trying to get to one thing and you were going to another one. So
Yeah.
kind of like, I guess, put that in order a little bit. But I was getting what you were trying to put out there. Yeah, I'd like to know maybe the competitors because real estate is huge. And the pricing seems good. I mean, 113,000 euro for investors. That's not, or 115. It's not a lot, you know, especially if people are investing. I like it. I just feel like you were kind of all over the place, but I like the idea. It gives you a little output. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for the
Okay.
feedback.
No problem.
Okay, we'll add something else here. First of all, yes, it's good presentation, but to be honest, a little too much information on slides, on some slides.
Yeah.
So 3 to 5 bullet points highlighted, and with some text, small amount of text describing those bullet points.
Yeah.
That text shouldn't be well, the scale shouldn't be too small because it's a video, so everyone can see it even during online translation, during online video streaming. So yeah, that's it. In terms of timing, I think it was almost in 5 minutes, almost good. Yes, another question that you, I think, will have, what stage your project at right now?
Actually, it's ready. So we already developed one project in Valencia for crowdfunding. This is already 100% done. And that's why we said, okay, we are ready for the international footprint.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yes.
With the guarantee of Grant Thornton behind. So.
Yes, okay, that's all from my side.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Okay, Bushman, please go ahead. Share your screen, the pitch deck.
Yes, hello.
Please.
Hi, Bushman, and I think for now you're too quiet. Can you please check?
Can you please speak up, Bushman?
Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, can you please speak up?
Okay, that's good. I tried to set up some files, but you said you don't like me.
Okay, so you can, in the meantime, you can take your time. Miguel, do you want to be the next?
Yes, sure.
You ready? Okay, let's go. Let's move ahead.
Good.
Perfect.
Welcome. Last time we have talked about the basic game, and I hear me double. Sorry.
Okay, so we're moving to Miguel. Bushman, you're gonna be the next one, okay?
Yeah, okay, that's better.
Miguel, please go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Thank you.
Hi.
Give me a second, please. Oh, I can't share my screen.
Yes, we can see that. We can see your screen.
No, that's not mine.
Okay.
That's Bushman's screen, I suppose.
Bushman, can you turn off the screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yes, perfect. Can you?
Great.
Is it okay? Perfect.
Yes, very well. So you have 5 minutes. You can start.
Okay, perfect. Good. Well, so thank you everyone for this piece of time to look at this is a security token project. Neural Capital is a company we've been working with for about 4 years in real estate development in the Mayan Riviera. And well, through this, I've also been involved in the fintech and digital assets here in Mexico, and I'm very interested in everything and the potential it has to do some very good things. So our security token is addressing this problem, the high land, the big lands. So as you know, it is very difficult for people to sell big pieces of land. We're talking about 50, 100 million US dollars worth of land. It takes a lot of time. It is highly illiquid, and through history, they have like very few solutions to do this. maybe partnerships, which make them very low liquidity and not the attractive rates, which focus on income producing assets, and they are expensive to develop, and development. So if you have a very big piece of land or a high worth land, you have to have a lot of money or a partnership to develop, and it takes more money and time. As a result, historical big landowners have remained. So there are a lot of people here in Mexico to start with very big pieces of land that are very interested in giving liquidity to it, since they want to sell, but they have no way to sell it, since there are very few players that are actually capable of buying these big pieces of land. So this is why we started Núcleo. Núcleo is the name of the token that we will use to fractionalize every piece of asset, which will give liquidity to the current landowners through secondary markets. In this case would be LATOKEN, the use of value, so they would be able to access new investment, consumption, and saving decisions, which would take up their welfare, and they would still be able to get the capital gains that current land has. So they could sell 50% of their tokens, and the other 50% would keep growing as the land grows stable. And we will offer high-level financial services to the partners that give their land to the token. So as you can see in this map, these are all of the target lands that we have right now. There are some new ones, but we haven't added them to this map. There are actually very big, but to start with, we did it in different stages. We're starting in this particular area. Can you see my mouse? Okay, perfect.
Yes.
So good. So how does it? Okay, perfect. So please keep this in mind a little bit. So how this would work here in Mexico? So the owner would give the land to a trust, a Mexican trust. I'm thinking UBS. That would be very good, and with obviously reversion rights in case we don't get to the target $100 million on land value. If it doesn't, the trust gives back the landowner the land, and if we do, we give the fiduciary certificates to a company incorporated in Cayman Islands or Luxembourg, which would give the digital assets or the security tokens to the owner and to LATOKEN for it to sell, as give you the secondary market to family offices, qualified investors, and investors as a whole. So our stage one target is $80 million. We expect at least a 50% conversion. That would mean a $40 million in land value. Stage two, $87.9 million in land value, a 60% conversion. That would be plus 52.7. And in third stage, once we prove this and we gain traction, we could go directly to the very big landowners that we do know, and we will expect a 70% or maybe a 100% conversion on this. And we're talking about $610 million in land value, for a total of $702.7 million as our initial stage. So our objective area, as I was telling you before, is, as you can see here, this is the Mexican Southeast Peninsula, the Riviera Maya, that everyone knows. It is one of the biggest places for Mexico, the biggest touristic places in the world. A lot of revenue creates, Mexico gets a lot of revenue in it. And the tourism has developed an incredible real estate company. And I'm sorry. Okay, so here we have this. This is the key part, the part with the biggest growth in tourism and real estate and everything. So that's why we target this part to start with. And we started, here's the island of Cozumel, here's Playa del Carmen, and we have Tulum that's gaining a lot of traction in these recent 4 years. So this is why did we choose these ones? Because they are very liquid and very well located, and in case we don't get the liquidity required for the $700 million, we could still create a good case. So how will the first investors profit? We will have well, the stable value appreciation, obviously, but through the actual value of the land, we were giving a 25% discount on liquidity premium, and another 25% as investor incentive. This way, we were talking about not a complete 50%, but a good discount on the current value of the land. That would take, this is a very simple scenario, because we would have to get a good amount of time in here. But the idea is we have 800 million in assets value. The offer value with the discounts would be for 450 million. For this to work out, we would have to give at least a liquidity of $4.5 million US, and a developing amount of 4,500,000 US. Again, I think that a start of 2.2 would be good, and its true value would be about 7 million. So if people getting this 4 million would be acquiring something that's actually worth 7. And the team. So as Igor knows, I'm part of FinTech Connector, and some of these people come from FinTech Connector. So in order to do this correctly and to guide the project as a good coin, as a good security token, which can be used for many different things, and particularly a very good store of value, the board of advisors will be constituted by Carlos Mendez, who is the Vice President of Financial Services Advisory and Digital Transformation for RGP. He's in New York. Rishi Chapoda, who's wealth management advisor. He is a prior Julius Baer, and he's the CEO of Swiss Wealth Tech. He's in Switzerland.
8 minutes, Miguel. 8 minutes. Please go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So Angel, who's the financial innovation director for Morgan Stanley, CEO of FinTech Connector and the net, and David Merino, who's here in Mexico. He would be the person in charge of the full compliance. He is actually working in the government in all the compliance part and anti-money laundering and anti-corruption. So this would give the security token a very good backup. And our team is consisted by Arturo La Madrid, who's currently quantitative director at a leading bank in Mexico. Me, I'm CEO of Neural Capital too, and I will be the CEO of this project. And Arturo Paniagua, who's will be the acquisition director for the Southeast region of Mexico to start with, and he's currently the business development director in a leading real estate consulting firm. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Miguel.
Okay, so I like the intro. I like how you explain how it's a security token, what it was for, real quick. Your slides were good. Your timing was obviously a little long. My question is mainly are you only going to focus in Mexico if this goes well? I mean, if it's only in Mexico, are you going to go like worldwide with it, or any other countries for investors? I mean, are investors going to only, I understand that it's for basically, it looked like you're on the coast, you're on an island. Maybe that slide that you were showing the island, maybe put that to the beginning and not go back, so you save some time that way. Like just some questions basically globally, like does an investor only want to invest in land in Mexico? Like, maybe explain that, or are you going to try to go more globally after after you succeed and all that stuff? What else? I liked how you explained 50% of the token, they can sell out and keep 50% in the land worth. And maybe explain the land more geographically, which I know you did. You can kind of, like, I'm from the States. I know Mexico pretty well. I've been there. So I kind of know the landscape, but other people don't. Maybe explain it, the Gulf of Mexico, things like that. That's really it. Other than that, Igor, anything else?
Yeah. Actually, Jory, I think you mentioned a lot already. So I
Yeah.
completely agree with you. Miguel, thank you very much for your presentation. I think it was straight to the point, well organized. Well, definitely. Still about the structure, let me send you. It's for everyone participating here today. It's a standard structure that should be it should be used because most of the investors look at pitch decks in this order. So it's a company, purpose, problem, solution, why now, market size, competition, product, business model, team, and financials in the end. So yes, this is what I think. Maybe Miguel, you should focus on, and about the timing. So in terms of the whole presentation, as I said, slides were very informative. Bullet points were highlighted. Not a lot of text. Well, it's good. It's good. Information well understandable. Maybe a structure and time limits. Now it's about 10, maybe 9 minutes. So it's twice more. And it's important. Yes, actually, you did that. You did. You mentioned how much. What is your raising goal, and what do you offer? You mentioned that in the middle. That's good. So even if you will not be able to finish to the end in that time, still the important part will be still will go to investor. So yeah, that's all I can say here.
Dear
Thank you.
participants, we have 25 minutes till the end of the demo pitch session. So let's make it kind of as comprehensive as possible. Bushman, you ready with your pitch? Okay. You ready? Can you please speak up? You're muted. We don't hear you, Bushman.
Bushman, your mic is turned off. Can you please
Yeah.
check?
Oh, microphone on helps. Yeah, good evening. Hi, everybody.
evening.
Good evening.
You have 5 minutes, Bushman. Please go ahead. Time started.
Yeah. So last time we was talking about the basics of the game and the backgrounds. So we go this time a bit deeper in the, why it not move the next one? I get crazy here. Showing the next one. Is this now to see? No, it's not to see. Okay, we have the show online in the foil. I take the foils only here for talking. Today we talk a bit more about the coin in the game. A coin makes a sense if there is a user case for it. A long time sense with worth for all parties must be given. A single sense is mostly not a real sense. That means if you have a simple game that everybody can copy and can do and can say, oh, it's in 5-minute work, yeah, you are not long on the market. You must have new ideas all the time for the coin and for the game and for the project. So we have a 5-star sense. That means in the middle is the game. Around we have the seed market, later the bet and win. We have the trade, the advertisements, the digital assets. All brings difference in. People bring money in form from coins in back to us. Brands bring marketings in. All comes in our direction. Click. Oh, that works good. Coins will be used from the gamer to buy more cards if they like, so they have no profit if they buy more cards for the game itself, sure. They use it for trade each other on the trading market, in the game, and also on the NFT market. These are two complete different. To buy seeds on the seed market, sure, this is a multi-million-dollar market, the cannabis seed market worldwide, and with 800 companies in the backpack, it's a big market. For the digital assets, for design, for more colors, but also not for playing better. To buy and trade also on the NFT market, you have in the pitch we have sent, we are now by setting up the connections. So we are a bit more with this market, happy, step by step, it works. Later all for the bet and win, but this need really later. So it's an extra investment only for the government, for the, what's the name, the security money for if you want to make this bet and win, it's 2 million extras. So it's not for the first, it's not our interest at the first. Coins will be used from brands to buy advertisement slots. That means not banner slots also, that means in the game advertisements really in production games, to sell production products in special sets. That's what we talked last time. To do product placements, place digital assets and functions. So that means the game has some function like you can shield your cards for spy-ins, and they can offer, oh, okay, our company give for every user 10% more shield for 14 days. And this is no click, nothing. It's only an information and a goodie. So that is not a normal, that the people must do anything for it. To run events specials, to offers for trade shows, and to design special NFTs.
Bushman, 1 minute left. Please
again?
take your time. 1 minute left. Please take your time.
1 minute left. Okay. Oh, I must talk faster. But we are nearby. Coin will be used from breeders. That's the producers of the seeds. Also for all the what we have for the other, and to force the strains in the game. Sure, this is more for the office work, and to have specials in the NFT. And speeding up. Amok will be also pushed from brands, breeders, and gamers on games coins, cannabis trades, blockchain channels and events on the future market, NFT. So NFT will be really big. In the next 5 years, I'm sure NFT will explode with the new 1155. This is what we say, the NFT card sector. We have the normal card game and the trading card as second. So it's double. We want to make now a crowd sale on if the market is ready, we make a crowd sale and have a small income from that, perhaps, hopefully. And we can test all these. And this is Nerds Love stickers. These are the stickers from the last Congress. So I hope the 5 minutes are now exact gone. Any questions?
Thank you, Bushman.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if anyone else, I couldn't see anything or slides or anything. So that was a huge problem for me. I was kind of getting what you were saying because I was just listening because I have to give you my opinion. I like the part with the game shield where you don't have to do anything. Maybe mention Coinbeater's games for cannabis and all that, maybe a little earlier on. There was nothing about the team. I'm sure there's other types of tokens like this that are competitors. What stage are you on, basically? Yeah, and I mean, you need slides. Slides is a huge plus for an investor. If he doesn't see any slides or anything that you're showing with, he's kind of lost. Who knows if he's even going to want to listen if there's nothing visually kind of showing him. Because if he misses one word, then he's kind of lost in the whole thing. So that was my huge problem, that I had to kind of like just listen to everything. If you did mess up, I kind of had to write everything down. I had no visuals whatsoever. So that was a huge problem. Igor?
Yeah, I agree with Jory. Bushman, I was at your first presentation on your first pitch, and you also mentioned that this is a second part of your pitch. So actually, I will have to remind that this is just a second demo, and so we just understanding the same pitch, and the structure should be the same as it was before because we would love you to polish your pitch perfectly to come to investors so well prepared. So my suggestion there would be, because I also didn't see slides, first of all is to keep presentation and pitch deck to the structure as the structure that I sent in the chat. And because I know you have an interesting card game already, so just to mention that, to show it, it's always good. Maybe even show your side. So it's good to see exactly what's going on, because right now we actually cannot. and do it, of course, in a more time period, because right now I think it was not that long as previous participants, but still it was something about 7 minutes. So timing, definitely a presentation, a pitch deck that will actually cover all the bullet points that mentioned in the message that I sent in the chat. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
you.
I agree.
Yeah.
Also with the website, maybe if you don't have slides, at least put the website up or something, just so people can see or even go to it while you're speaking and kind of get where, it's going. I totally agree with Igor on that. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah, Bushman, unfortunately, we have 15 minutes left and other two participants to pitch. So let them give a word. Butch Foils, are you with us?
yes, we have the pitch from the last time. This is the basic pitch, and this was about 6 minutes. So I can do this second part now together with the one. Then we are perhaps by 8 or 10 minutes if I talk fast. And sure, we have the 30 foils. They are on Bushcoin EU color paper.
Bushman, do you hear me?
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir. We have other two participants to pitch today.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you can probably discuss this with the listing manager with whom you work
Yeah.
further. So let give a word to another two participants.
Yeah.
We see here Bush Foils.
Yeah, this can go.
And Charlie you chill. Charlie, you chill.
Yeah. So
All right.
I am the,
I
the
can
bush,
do it.
Charlie.
the bush voice was
Okay,
my,
Charlie, please go ahead. Can you please
All right.
share the screen of yours?
Okay.
Yep. You have 5 minutes, and after that, feedback session from LATOKEN committee. Then we'll finalize it. Thank you.
All right. Can you see the screen all right there? Can you see the screen okay?
Yep.
Okay. So series of banking solution for the legal cannabis industry. Basic problem is, especially here in the United States, because cannabis remains illegal at the federal level, but 34 states have approved it. Banks can bank it, but because of AML, KYC considerations, they don't do it. And there's no real good frictionless system in place right now to bank cannabis. We've come up with that. So the solution is Series Coin. It's a stable coin, and it really is an invoice payment system. So how does it work? Series Coin is, again, a transactional stable coin. What makes us incredibly unique and unique beyond everything than just cannabis is that it's going to be a qualified SEC security. In fact, we already got the green light to file publicly to have our stablecoin qualified. We'll be the first ever SEC qualified stablecoin. The neatest part about it then, so you'll know what the value is to have the coin, is that every transaction will be tracked. So we'll be able to truly track chain of custody throughout this industry. Again, how that invoice system works and how it helps people for financial institutions, credit unions, banks. We really are a Bank Secrecy Act compliance tool where every transaction posts to an immutable auditable ledger. And then with our smart contract, we can even file a suspicious activity report narrative, SAR, which all transactions in the cannabis space right now, any transaction done, a SAR has to be created. For the regulators and tax authorities, again, seed to sale tracking. And again, with our smart contract, we can pay taxes in real time without having to use cash. Retailers, again, reduce that transactional friction, take dangerous cash, and especially in this Corona time when cash is so dirty, the concept of using a digital coin, a digital asset like this is really exciting. And just this is how that series invoice system works. We are the issuer. We are actually selling a security. So actually cash is being used to buy and sell a security. It is no longer being used to purchase cannabis, which is illegal. And then once you get within our permission network, you can transfer ownership of that security. Everyone knows the value of it to be able to execute the transactions. Some key components, because it is a security, we have to do some enhanced due diligence when it comes to onboarding any customer to use it. And these are what I'm quoting here are actually the FinCEN compliance requirements, where we identify and verify the customers, identify and verify beneficial ownership, conduct ongoing AML, anti-money laundering compliance requirements. And then again, all transactions will generate a suspicious activity report narrative. Like I said, again, we are really a BSA, Bank Secrecy Act compliance tool. So every transaction will identify who, what, where, when, how much, and the nature of the transaction based on a risk assessment tool. So we can identify if any transaction gets out of normal activity. What makes us also really unique, and a lot of other competitors will try to figure out or how they are creating a digital asset to be a solution in this industry, is they create themselves as a money service business. Even as a money service business, you're still going to be illegal. What makes our solution unique is that we are not a money service business, but we are still Bank Secrecy Act compliant. And this is why. And we actually briefed this to FinCEN in December, and they were very impressed with why we are kind of exempt from that. Again, because we are regulated by the SEC, we are exempt from any type of money service business laws. Again, what we've done with the SEC, we first filed this back in December of 2018, worked back and forth over the last 18 months. And it was actually on last week, April 2nd, after our initial filing with the SEC, we had 42 comments we had to address. We have finally addressed everything. We've been greenlit to file our registration with the SEC. Yeah, to be the third ever digital asset. First one ever being, everyone probably knows that, is Blockstack, who was able to be the first ever digital asset. We're going to be the third.
30 seconds.
Okay. So again, and then since we have a stable coin, what everyone else gets and what our investors will get as part of this digital asset offering is a series token. It's a preferred equity where you get you get the transaction fees from the stable coin, and you also have access to our a lending business that we have in this cannabis space, and that's what's being supported here. So as we do this token sale, 70% of the money brought in from the token sale is going to this digital REIT business. The other 30% is to build out the actual stable coins themselves. Couple highlights before I finish up then. We've built this MVP before any fundraising done. It's built on the Hyperledger Fabric protocol. Excitement things right now, we're a finalist in the state of Rhode Island for a proof of concept to implement a blockchain technology system for their medical marijuana program. The other thing is that we have that other people don't, is that we are approved for filing with the SEC to file publicly to be the third ever SEC digital asset, first ever SEC qualified stablecoin. And with that, I'll wrap it up right there.
Thank you, Charlie. Team, we have 7 minutes for a feedback session before we finalize the demo pitch session today.
Okay, well,
right.
I will give I will give a short feedback here. First of all, it's well highlighted. Those big companies, well, I mean, like SEC, that it's really important. It's you mentioned that's a big thing to have, and a big opportunity, big advantage of your project. You said that there was an MVP, and what stage is your project right now? Could you please repeat in a few words?
The blockchain system is built out. The smart contracts are written for each and every, both the digital both the series token and the stable coin.
Okay, and what is your raising goal right now?
So right now, it's funny what I've talked to you guys. Well, when we do our actual Reg A sale, we can sell up to $30 million of our tokens. We are doing a venture deal right now where we are actually in advance of this token sale, knowing that it's got to do it efficiently. We want to raise do the marketing to the scale we want. We're trying to raise about 1.3 million from a venture side, where they'll be able to get warrants to be able to purchase the tokens and also be able to take an
Tim,
equity stake
I'm
within our business.
sorry for interrupting you, but we have 5 minutes before we end the session. The translation is ended. So does anybody have any feedback else?
Yeah, I just want to say that I liked how you explained the BSA tool. You explained it really well. Real quick, with the federal and the state, maybe explain how, because I'm from New Jersey, so I know that the federal law is illegal, but state has their own law, and the banking systems, maybe explain that a little bit more with the states. That's really it. I like how it's a stable coin. Maybe talk more about the MVP and less about the SEC a little bit, and that's really it. Otherwise, I liked it.
Awesome. Thank you very much, guys.
No problem.
Okay, team. So thank you everybody for joining this session. We have actually 4 minutes before we end. I think everybody said what they wanted to say today, right? I mean, LATOKEN committee, do you guys have anything to add so far, or we can end?
No, nothing from my side.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
I
we
did
can
everything I
finish.
need to.
Yeah, okay, everybody, thank you for joining this session.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank
guys.
you.
Guys, it was nice
Thank
meeting
you.
you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.